it's doing good. Welcome to or welcome back to the vlog. Currently, man, what a way to start the vlog, am I right? I am speed running to the train station because I gotta get to the train so I can get to school on time. The train's gonna be here in like 2 minutes. Exciting thing today, but also scary and terrifying things today, but we'll talk about it more later. I am going into the class that I TA for. Really, it's like remote work, so I don't have to go into the class. I'm going into a workshop today so that the students can meet me because next I'm gonna be taking over the class for a couple workshops. So I'm nervous because I'm like, girl, like, what if they think I'm like, I got dressed up today because I was like, I have to make a good first impression on the undergrads. I made it! That girl had so many dogs. As a dog walker, I feel for her. That's too many. I can do like 3 max at a time. That, I'm on my way home from class. Rundown of what I did at school today is I went to campus earlier than I normally do. I do take night classes because I normally don't go to campus until 6 for class, but today I had to be there at 4 for my class that I am a TA for. And so it was my first time meeting everyone, and like, y'all, I was so nervous. I think in general, like, I have really bad imposter syndrome. This is something I've struggled with, like, especially since I started my grad school program, because I'm studying poetry and like I didn't major in literature or writing or anything like in undergrad, and so I did minor in literature, but like I started my program feeling like leaps and bounds behind my peers. I take classes with some insanely talented writers, you know. So when it comes to like having my own work, like existing in the same workshops as some of my peers, like it's really intimidating because I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, my poetry is not as good as my like classmates, you know, which simply isn't true. It's like we all got into the same program, but it's really hard to come out of that. And with my TA position, it has also been a lot of like, because like after I get my grad school out of the way, I'd really like to be a poetry professor, and this is, you know, giving me kind of a taste of what that looks like. I think I said earlier, but my professor is going to be out of town for a week next month, and she's having me cover her workshop classes, so I'm going to be leading them. Scary knees. I went to the class today so that I could like meet the students, and you know, I mean, sharing your poetry is a really intimate thing, and so I was glad to be able to meet them so that they don't feel entirely uncomfortable with me leading their workshops next month. Like, I got all dressed up for it too. Like, I was like, I have to look cool. Like, y'all, like, I put like press on nails on, like I was like, did my makeup, like I was like, they can't think I'm not cool. The students were like not intimidating. They were actually so cool and so fun. They were so energetic. They were so passionate. It was really a lot of fun. And then I had my own workshop to do after class. So I was at school for like 6 hours tonight, which was kind of insane, but Jackson's cooking dinner, so I don't have to worry about that. And yeah, good morning. I am not having a good time. I'm so tired. Jackson's sick, so he usually gets up with me, but he didn't, obviously, because he's not feeling good. And then I was running behind, and so I didn't have time to make coffee. Even then, like, the thought of coffee like made me want to throw up, because I'm on a new medication that like the side effect is nausea. Y'all, the nausea is nauseating. Like, it is not playing around. Like, when I tell you, like, I just thought about a coffee bean and like wanted to vomit, and I like brushed my teeth and like wanted to vomit. And like, I have to have some caffeine because then I'll get a headache if I don't, and that's not something I want to add to my list. I stopped and I got a Red Bull, and even this, the thought of this is like, I'm gonna puke. But alas, it is what it is. Last night we read an essay. I forget what it was called and who wrote it. It was about like distance in poetry. Poetry is so personal for, I think, many people that write it, and sometimes that can be like a limiting thing, right? I write a lot about like losing my dad and the grief, and also like really personal things like body dysmorphia and like eating disorders and anxiety and depression and bipolar disorder, and they're all really intimate things. And so this essay just explores different ways to like create distance. I put a clip of the poem that we discussed in class like in the beginning of the vlog because I was reading it on the train. That poem, we talked about like how the distance is being created there. Betty Adcock is, I think, the author's name. That poetry collection explores her experience grieving her husband, and in the poem talks about it from like the third person point of view. So it's about like the widow's house. I guess this is really like not the best time to talk about this, but I don't have the readings in front of me and I'm just kind of like talking from memory. But anyways, we were just kind of talking about how like the choice, like the craft choice, say she instead of I. There's like one line where it's like, she asked for him so bad. And we were like, well, why wouldn't she say like, I asked for him so bad, right? Maybe that gets a little too hyper specific, and you know, also goes along with the feeling of like when you're grieving, you know, you kind of become detached. I wish I had books in front of you, but I do want to make more videos like dissecting poems and poetry. Poetry in general, I feel like can be very intimidating. If you like don't really know where to start in reading it, I feel like that intimidation like steers people away from reading poetry, which is really unfortunate because poetry is amazing, and I would love to talk about like some of my favorite poetry collections on here and maybe try out some new authors, because there's so many amazing poets out there that just like don't have the audiences that they deserve. So yeah, I am outside of work. I actually don't go in for like 15 more minutes. I don't know why I left so early. That's actually like really sick and twisted, but I'm gonna like turn my heater all the way up and like lean back in my chair and maybe take like a 10-minute nap or something. It is raining and sludgy outside, and I walk dogs for a living. So this is like definitely gonna be a miserable day, but c'est la vie. What are you gonna do? morning outside. Like, okay, Valentine's Day, like the sun is out. I mean, it's cold. Don't get me wrong, it is still 30 degrees outside, but compared to the cold that we have been having in Boston, like, it's just so nice. It's so nice. When the sun comes out, like, it feels like how I would imagine, like, an exorcism, like, feels like I feel like the seasonal depression gets, like, yanked out of me, and I'm like, oh. I didn't film, like, anything last night past, like, eating dinner, and I didn't actually have to do, like, any homework tonight. I wasn't on any, like, deadlines. I did submit to a couple literary magazines that I'd been meaning to submit my poems to. I've yet to have anything published in a literary magazine, and I think it's mostly due to the fact that I'm not very good at, like, actually, like, continuously submitting things. It's just, like, so much work that I just don't feel like doing. Now I'm on my way to work. I got gifted the lovely surprise from my boss that I'm getting off early today. So excited to get off early because, I mean, it's Valentine's Day. When I got off work, I'm gonna go home and get ready, and then Jackson and I are gonna drive to Plymouth, and we're gonna get matching Valentine's Day tattoos. One of our, like, cutesy, like, corny nicknames for each other is Love Bug and, like, Bug. So we're getting matching Love Bug tattoos. I'm so excited. And then we're gonna go to dinner at Texas Roadhouse, which I can't wait for. And we do love Texas Roadhouse. Valentine's Day on a Friday this year, it's just great vibes, like, all around. Like, I feel like I've been crashing out, like, all week. Like, my anxiety has just been, like, through the roof. Like, I am just so, like like, irritable and, like, on edge, like, all the time. I'm appreciating the feeling of release that I am experiencing so far today. Jackson's Valentine's Day gift has still not come. I ordered that shit, like, 2 weeks ago, and the shipping, like, estimated shipping date or delivery date keeps getting changed. Now it's allegedly gonna be here today. I got him a custom pot figure set because he likes pot figures, and you can make custom ones, and so I got a double pack custom Funko Pops that look like me and him. They're, like, holding little ramen bowls because, like, our first date was going to get ramen. And I, like, put them in, like, outfits that I knew that we had, so that on Valentine's Day, like, we would be dressed in them, and then I would give him the pot figures, and then it's like, oh my god, they're literally, like, dressed like us. Y'all remember what I said about it being a beautiful day outside? It's not. Weather catfished me. It is certainly not beautiful outside. It is so windy. It's, like, making it, like, extra cold. My hands, like, I don't even think you can tell, like, on camera, but they're, like, stinging and swollen because of how cold they are, and, like, my cheeks are red. But my skin looks fantastic. No, my skin is looking kind of beautiful, if I do say so myself. But let's go get these guys home, yeah? New bottle of Zoloft just dropped from the online pharmacy. Also, Jackson got me chocolates, and he left them on my desk. Like a good boyfriend. A good trained boyfriend.
I did it.
Jackson and I are getting tattoos. Matching tattoos. So Jackson had to change the spot that he was originally going to get his tattoo in because Nezzy scratched him. And when he was telling the tattoo artist, can you do it? What did you tell the tattoo artist?
I told him that I got into a bit of a cat debacle.
Got into a little bit of a cat debacle. I need to change the spot that I'm getting my tattoo in. I'm going first, and then we're gonna go to Texas Roadhouse. I love that both times I've vlogged, we've gone to Texas Roadhouse, and it's like, and I swear we don't go to Texas Roadhouse that often. This is literally only the second time. Ew, they're so bloody. We've crash landed in Texas Roadhouse. Our server slays. And now we're trying to figure out what we want. But to drink, what did you get? A Sam Adams? Jackson got a Sam Adams. I got a sangria margarita. And I wasn't gonna get a sangria margarita. I was gonna get like wine or something. But like, I would have been so mad at myself if I didn't get a sangria margarita because that's literally what I love Texas Roadhouse for. So, yeah.